Hello friends, welcome to Dipta's Patsala. Today we will discuss about the formation of natural gas and about the formation of petroleum. So how the petroleum is formed. So if you will notice in the ocean when the small organisms they died, their dead bodies were settled into the bottom of the sea. So what happened gradually lots of sand and clay were deposited over the dead remainings. Here you can see the dead remainings. It is also called as the fossil. So when the clay and sand were deposited over them, they applied lots of pressure on them, on the dead remainings. So this process continued for long period of time, about millions of years. So what happened in the absence of air and in the presence of high temperature and high pressure, those dead remainings they were turned into petroleum and the natural gas. Okay, so by that time the deposits of the sand and clay they also turned into rocks. Okay, so this process took about millions of years. Now the petroleum and the natural gas has already formed due to the some changes in earth and due to the movements of the earth and due to lots of pressure. These petroleum and natural gas they were again squeezed into the porous sedimentary rocks and they were stored above the porous sedimentary rocks. Okay, that's why these rocks are also called as the reservoir rocks. You can see the deposits of natural gas and the petroleum here above the reservoir rock, and above it this layer is the impermeable rock. So in between the impermeable rock and the reservoir rock we can find the petroleum. That is why the petroleum is called as the rock oil. Okay, petra means rock and oleum means oil. This is the reason we call it as rock oil. Now we know that the petroleum and the natural gas they were deposited under the sea level. So what happened? How we can extract them? How we can recover them? So here in this picture you can see this is a oil drilling machine. By the seismographic studies, when we come to know that there are some petroleum deposits in some place, that time we use these oil drilling machines to dig the oil wells. Here in the picture you can see this is the oil well to extract the trapped gas and trapped oil, that is the petroleum. Okay, here in this picture you can see this is the reservoir rock, this is the impervious rock, and in between which you can find the petroleum and the natural gas that are floating on water. Why it is floating on water? Because they are very less denser than water. They are having lightweight, that's why they can float on water. Okay, and gas is also lighter than the oil, that's why it is stored above the oil. So when we come to know about these deposits, presence of these deposits, we can bring the oil drilling machines. Here in the picture you can see this is the oil drilling machines by which we can use it for making the oil wells or dig the oil wells through which we can pump out the gas and the oil. In India, we can find the petroleum reservoirs in Gujarat, in Mumbai High, in Godavari Krishna river basins, and also found in Assam. Okay, in the year 1859 in USA, in one place that is called Pennsylvania, the first oil well was established. Then after 8 years in the year 1867 oil was struck for the first time in India, that is in a place that is called Makam, that is present in Assam. Now, as I told you that we get it from the rocks. When we extract the petroleum we obtain is very impure. That is why it is also called as the crude oil. Now, its refining is necessary, which we can do in petroleum refineries. So what we can do in that crude oil or the impure petroleum, we can heat it in high temperature so that the different fractions can be separated in a fractional tower, and the process is called as the fractional distillation. Here the constituents, their boiling point vary from each other, vary from one constituent to another constituent, so that they can be collected in different fractions. So here you can see the refinery gas, or called as the petroleum gas. This is the first product that we obtain from the petroleum by refining it. It is obtained near about 20 degree to 40 degree Celsius, in between it is obtained. So you are mostly familiar with this petroleum gas, as we use it in our day-to-day life for cooking purpose. It is known as LPG. We store it in red color cylinders, and it is used in the kitchen for cooking purpose. Another one we obtain is petrol. This is also a petroleum product, that you know that we use petrol for the as fuel in the vehicles like the motorbikes, the cars also we use the petrols. Next product that we obtain by the refining of petroleum, that is the naphtha, and it is mostly used for making chemicals. Okay, so next one is the kerosene. You know the use of kerosene. Okay, previously it was used for lighting purpose in the lamps and the lanterns, and nowadays also it is used in the aircrafts as fuel. Next one comes the diesel. Diesel is mostly used in heavy vehicles like trucks, tractors. Also it is used in the generators for generating electricity. Next one is the lubricating oil, which is used to prepare the lubricants, that is mostly used for the lubricating purpose in vehicles. And next we can also obtain fuel oil. Its name suggests that it is a fuel. It is mostly used in the industries and also in ships. Okay, and another product, that is paraffin wax. Paraffin wax is mostly used for preparation of the candles, Vaseline, etc. Then next one, this is the bitumen, and this is a very black color thick product. This is the alternative of coal tar. Okay, this is mostly used for surfacing of the roads and the roof surfacing. Okay, so these are not only the products that we obtain from petroleum. We also get so many products from the petroleum, that are called as the petrochemicals. So petrochemicals are the substances that are obtained either from petroleum or from natural gas. So we can use them for the manufacture of synthetic fibers like polyesters and nylons, that are used for clothing purpose. Also we can prepare polythene out of them, and synthetic rubbers, we can use the synthetic rubbers for making tires, shoes, sandals, like this. And plastics, which are the very commonly used in our day-to-day life, we use lots of plastic products that are also belong to the petrochemicals. Next, that is, we can use the perfumes that we use, perfumes that we use, that are also petrochemicals. Next we can prepare the paints or dyes, you can say. And drugs or medicines are another product that we obtain from the petrochemicals. Last but not the least, we can also obtain the explosives. We can prepare the explosive materials from the petrochemicals. And we obtain hydrogen gas also from the petroleum, and that is used for preparation of the fertilizers and so many chemicals also. As the petroleum is very important, we obtain lots and lots of products out of it, and it is economically very important for us. That is why petroleum is also referred as black gold, due to its economic significance. So you know that petroleum is a fossil fuel, so its amount is very limited in nature. That's why we should use it judiciously. We should not waste the petroleum and petroleum products. Understood? Now let's discuss about the natural gas. Natural gas, we obtained it along with the petroleum. Okay, and this can be compressed under high pressure. That's why it is also called as the compressed natural gas, or CNG. It is a very cleaner fuel. It is less polluting, as it produces carbon dioxide instead of carbon monoxide, which is very polluting, and it doesn't produce any while burning. That is why mostly nowadays it is also used as a fuel in various vehicles. And CNG is used for power generation, means for production of electricity. It is also used for preparation of chemicals, fertilizers used in the carbon black industry or rubber industries also. Now look at this picture and you will get the idea how natural gas is consumed in India in various amounts. Mostly the industries, they use 43% of the natural gas, which they use it for preparation of the chemicals and the fertilizers. Then the household, they use 22% of natural gas for cooking purpose, lighting and heating up the room. Then so many industries also use the natural gas for the production of electricity. And in the commercial use, we can say the school, the church, the mosque, they use or consume 13% of the natural gas for cooking purpose, for lighting purpose and for getting electricity. Then the vehicles also use 3% of the natural gas as fuel. Okay, so in India, in Rajasthan, in Maharashtra, Krishna Godavari Delta, and in Tripura, we can find the natural gas reservoirs. As you know that petroleum along with natural gas all are fossil fuels, their formation requires millions of years. We cannot prepare it in very short term period. Okay, we need to conserve them. We need to store them for our future generations. So what we can do, we should reduce their use and we should use them while it is absolutely necessary, and we should encourage the use of renewable source of energy like wind energy, solar energy and the hydro energy, means the water energy, to meet our energy needs. We should use more fuel efficient machines so that we can minimize their wastage. Then according to PCRA, that is the Petroleum Conservation Research Association of India, it has given some guidelines for the saving of petroleum. So what are they? We can drive at constant and moderate speed so that we can minimize the wastage of petrol and diesel. Switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait, and ensure correct tire pressure. Ensure regular maintenance of the vehicles. So these are such guidelines following which we can save the petroleum. Understood? So this is all about our today's session. Let's have a quick revision. So we learned petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin wax, lubricating oil. All these are obtained from the petroleum by refining it. And coal and petroleum resources are very limited. We should use them judiciously. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas, or we can say CNG. CNG is used for power generation. It is now being used as a fuel for transport vehicles because it is less polluting and it is a cleaner fuel. So this is all about our today's session. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you are having any doubt, please write it in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.